38 senators, both Democrats and Republicans, are saying enough to the bickering in Washington.
For the betterment of the country. That's what we're here for.
And we feel that it's time to check our political hats at the door and to step up and do what is the right thing for the American people.
They all met in Washington yesterday, urging the deficit-cutting supercommittee to go big and recommend twice as much in spending cuts as they have to. One of those 38 senators, Democrat Mark Udall of Colorado, joins me right now. Senator, good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Well, I'm well, thank you, and I wish we could get an end to this mess, but I know you're doing your best as you join this so-called gang of 38. We've seen lots of bickering, though, in Washington throughout this summer about this and all the other issues with deficit reduction. How long do you expect this new spirit of cooperation to last, especially since we're seeing what's coming from the House Speaker and the President as they gear up for another battle?
I would tell you that there are 38 senators in the group that you just mentioned, but I think we're going to generate even more support. And I think this spirit in the Senate will last until we do go big. Now, the super committee has a big job in front of it. I trust the people on the super committee. They're smart, they're committed, but we're poised to support them and urge them. And it's not just spending cuts. We have to find a mix of revenues, spending cuts, and we've got to shore up entitlements. And it has to be in the area of about $4 to $5 trillion. We think it's doable. But we want to support the super committee in getting to that point. If they fall short, we're going to go back to work whenever we're called upon to come up with that overall proposal and move something like that out of the Senate.
Yeah.
We've got 14 months to the next election. We don't have that time to waste. The American people don't have 14 months for us to sit on our hands.
Yeah, the president very candidly saying that when he addressed Congress last week. But that being said, sir, you've got a proposal out there, knowing that we've got to trim $1.5 billion from the deficit with the committee. That all being done by Thanksgiving. But you're proposing potentially looking at $4 billion in cuts. That's what you'd like to see happen. Now, you're reflecting the views of the Senate. How in the world do you expect that to get through the House?
Well, you never know. As you get closer to Christmas, maybe there'd be a miracle looming. But you have to, based on all of the objective economists' analysis, have a $4 to $5 trillion package. And again, if you look at what we've proposed, there are revenues in there. We have a 4 to 1 revenue to 1 revenue increase to 4 spending cuts in dollar terms proposal. So you've got, but you have to, if you're going to stabilize our long-term debt and send the right kind of messages to the markets and the capital investors, you've got to have a bigger plan than the one that looms in the short term. $1.2 trillion would be a nice down payment, but if we make that down payment, we're still going to come back and have to work on this. And so the senators involved are saying, let's go big now. Let's create confidence. That would be an enormous jolt to our economy in a positive way.
Yeah. Let's look at some new poll numbers that we have out here, and this is from Bloomberg on Americans' view of elected officials out there. Wanting to throw them all out. That's 26%. All they do is fight, 28%. Wish they would compromise, 36%. They're doing the best they can, just 8%. Do you see this gang of 38 as being a sign that Washington is paying attention to those poll numbers and you are determined to get something done?
I like that word, determined. We are. When I was home in Colorado during August, I heard over and over again, please go back there and work together. Focus on a short-term jobs package. And by the way, I thought Ezra really pointed out the opportunity here and what we do face. But couple it with a long-term debt plan. We couldn't do anything better for the country. And those numbers hurt me to hear, but they're accurate. And we really have to set aside this juvenile and schoolyard bickering and go to work on behalf of the economy and the American people. It's just a given right now.
Okay. Colorado Democratic Senator Mark Udall, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Sure. We'll do it again.